Hello, good afternoon and welcome to today's history lesson. In today's session we are going to go through the exam question at the top of the screen. The Nazi-Soviet pact was the main reason for the outbreak of the Second World War in 1939. How far do you agree with this statement? Explain your answer. Now this is a real-life exam question that was used in the 2015 AQA paper under the module Conflict and Tension, the Interwar Years 1918 to 1939. Now this is such a fantastic question to get right at the end of your exam because it's not a yes or a no answer, it's a explain answer. First of all, do you agree with the statement? If you do, explain why you agree with the statement. But if you don't, and this is the brilliant bit here, explain why you don't agree with the statement and use other events from the same time period and put that in your essay and in your argument. Now, I have sectioned this off on the screen for you. So section 1 is mark scheme. Section 2, we will talk about the target of the essay, what to do to get top marks, the events you can use for this question, and lastly, how to structure the essay. Now, first of all, as a historian, there is no right or wrong answer for this question. Obviously, if you get like the wrong date or you get the dates mixed up, you will be penalised for that. But if you say that, say for instance, the annexation of Austria in 1938 is more of a reason for the outbreak of the Second World War, as long as you give, as it says in the mark scheme, which will come along just now, a coherent, relevant, substantiated and logical structured argument, you will not go wrong. So for the mark scheme, as I just said, part of it is if you give more of a structured argument, but the first part is the question requires students to produce an extended response. This isn't a short essay where it's going to take half a page. This is more of a 1 to 2, even 3 page essay that you're going to write. And this is when timing and how you use it in the exam is absolutely crucial, because if you're leaving this right to the end, say you've got 5 minutes left, you are going to rush this answer. So it's all about time management, really is. So next section, the target. You have to explain and analyse historical events and periods studied using second order concepts. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the key features and characteristics of the period studied. Therefore, if you stray away from this period, you will get penalised. Rightly or wrongly, this is what the examiner is looking for you to do. So, the next section, what to do to get top marks. This question is worth 16 marks. Much like the time management, this is imperative on getting it right. Really is. So, all you need to do is produce a complex explanation of stated factor and other factors leading to a sustained judgment. The answer demonstrates a range of accurate and detailed knowledge and understanding that is relevant to the question. That's how you get your 16 marks. You basically aim to get between 13 to 16 marks for this question. As long as you aim for those two, you'll be fine. So, what events can you use for this question? Well, obviously you can use the Nazi-Soviet pact of 1939, but you can also use these events as well. the Munich Crisis/Conference of 1938, the remilitarization of the Rhineland of 1936, the annexation of Austria of 1938. You can use the policy of Lebensraum, which was all about Hitler trying to unify German-speaking peoples, and also means to get more living room. That's what it means, really. More living room. As long as you remember, Lebensraum means living room or more living room, again, you'll be fine. You can also use Germany taking the Sudetenland and then later Czechoslovakia in 1938. But you can also use the League of Nations and the Abyssinian Crisis of 1936. Although it doesn't really include Germany, it's more of an Italian crisis. The Abyssinian crisis can lead way to the Nazi-Soviet Pact of 1939. So, structure. Always remember Peel. Always remember Peel. Peel means point, evidence, explain, link. As long as you remember that throughout the exam, again, you cannot go wrong. So, how would I, or another person who did the exam, structure this essay? Well, first of all, for the introduction, you have to explain what the Nazi-Soviet Pact was. It was a pact between the USSR and Nazi Germany in splitting up Poland. That's all it was. That was the agreement. And for the USSR, it gave them a bit more time to shore up their defences and to basically get more manpower in Russia. Whereas with Germany, again, Lebensraum, it gives them more living space. It also links up a small port in Poland that's also known as German. That's it. And also you must list the main players. So obviously it's Nazi Germany, the USSR, Poland, Britain, and France. So for section 1, what other events were responsible for the outbreak of the war? Again, the section on the events you can use for this question, you can use that. For this person, they used appeasement. And it can be used in this section as you can list the events like the remilitarization of the Rhineland, the annexation of Austria and the Sudetenland to explain how Hitler was able to go unchallenged. And the conclusion to that would be on the lines of, therefore, appeasement to the invasion of Poland and thus the start of the Second World War, because Hitler believed France and Britain would remain neutral, much like they did in 1938. For section 2, you can bring in Hitler's aim to nullify the 1919 Treaty of Versailles, the reunification of German-speaking people. You can also bring in how the League of Nations was ineffective regarding territorial disputes. For example, the Abyssinian Crisis of 1936. The ineffectiveness of the League of Nations meant that Hitler could invade other countries without the repercussions from the international community. So to conclude, all you would do is you can start off by saying that the Nazi-Soviet Pact was important, but not the most important. And then you say what the most important is. So you can bring, say, for instance, appeasement was the most important policy for the outbreak of the Second World War. And then you always bring it back to the question. Always, and then you'll get a successful exam paper. I hope this helps. And if you ever need any questions, just give me a shout. And thank you for listening.